The Chicago Bears make a late comeback, but ultimately lose to the Green Bay Packers 21-13 in Week 15. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about that Bears loss, okay, folks, because it was rough. I mean, that game was just an emotional roller coaster for me, and it was just up and down. And trust me, I've got a lot to talk about in that game. So if you are new to the channel, guys, welcome. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below. I do post a lot of NFL content, a lot of Bears content on this channel. New videos every single week. You don't want to miss out. And while you're at it, guys, follow me on my social media links down below for my Twitter and my Instagram. Go ahead and reach out to me, ask me questions. Whatever it is you guys need, I'm here for you. With that being said, I mentioned I have a lot to say, and I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get started. So usually when I start my analysis, I like to start at the beginning, right? At the start of the game and then kind of go throughout in chronological order. Well, I'm actually going to start at the end, okay? And talk about what happened on that last drive when it was a one-score game. The Bears score there, and they get a 2-point conversion. It's a tie game, okay? And there was a million things going on at once, and I'm sure you guys didn't, process it. I know I certainly didn't. I had to go back and watch it 2-3 times. And really, what was the thinking on the design there, okay? So the first one was Mitch throwing a deep ball in the end zone. And I believe 2 of the Packers DBs or defenders get their hands on it. It gets tipped. But Riley Ridley, okay, who had to step up today because we did not have Taylor Gabriel and Juwan Williams was banged up. Riley Ridley literally had the ball go right past him. Now, looking at the replay, absolutely was a tough catch. It was. But I believe, and that Riley Ridley is a rookie, so maybe you can cut him some slack here, but if he just had the awareness, if his eye was on the ball, he could have made that catch. I know it was tough, but was it, in my eyes, catchable? I believe so. Okay, so that's number one. And you'll start to understand this game for the Bears pretty much is summed up by missed opportunities because, oh boy, there were a lot of them. You had that happen. Okay, then next play, obviously it's 4th down. This is it for all the marbles. Game ends here, okay? And I expected another Hail Mary. I'm sure a lot of you did. And Matt Nagy comes out and he does a short passing in with the lateral, okay? And so I'm thinking, okay, there's no way they do this, right? If you guys remember last year, the last team I remember doing this lateral and winning the game was actually the Dolphins, who did it against the Patriots, and they were able to win that game. That was, I believe, when Rob Gronkowski missed the tackle. So the ball goes, in terms of the lateral here, and they're flipping it left and right. Mitch even gets it. He drops it, but because it's a lateral, it's still a live ball. And then he flips it over, and then Jesper Horsted, we actually moved the ball down a lot, okay? Jesper Horsted had the ball at about the 5-yard line, okay? He had Allen Robinson to his right with nobody in front of him. Even Anthony Miller was right there too with nobody in front of him. But Allen Robinson, in terms of, being behind him so he could throw the pass, was right there with nobody in front of him. And Jesper Horsted, for whatever reason, decides to be the hero and try to make a play when we know, and he should have known, that he clearly couldn't do it. He was a good 5 yards behind the end zone. And the ball gets stripped, and then, the Packers defender gets it, and that's the game. He flips it to Allen Robinson. That's a touchdown. We're going for 2. I completely believe that. So another missed opportunity right there. So really, with this game, folks, it was frustrating to say the least because of the fact that we could have won that game for sure. But it was missed opportunities. That's what it was. So let's quickly go through a couple numbers here. Of course, obviously, we want to talk about Mitch Trubisky and how he did in this game. Quick stat line here for Mitch, 29 for 53 for 348 yards and a touchdown with 2 interceptions. Let's talk about the 2 interceptions. One was a Hail Mary pick. I'm not counting that. Throw that one out. The other one was a bad interception, okay? This was definitely a bad one. This is essentially when the Bears get the ball back, and it's 21-13, and it's about, I think 5 or 7 minutes left, somewhere around there. And Mitch, I think, was looking for Tariq Cohen to come out for an option. I think it was going to be a running back, cut where Tariq Cohen cuts inside. And either Tariq Cohen ran the right route and Mitch didn't expect it, or he ran the wrong route and Mitch expected it. There was some miscommunication there for sure, or Mitch just made a bad play. I'm trying to figure it out here because the pass was literally towards the right. It wasn't even towards Tariq Cohen. It was literally towards the right. Now, he had pressure in his face. Mitch literally had the Packers pass rush in his face, so I'm sure it was a bad angle for him, but you got to just throw that away. You got to just throw that away because it didn't look like he was really particularly throwing anyone. Tariq Cohen was open. You could have thrown it to him. So that was bad. Did not like that at all. For Mitch, that was on him. Okay, so bad interception there. But overall, the other thing I do want to point out is another play for Mitch where, you know, he's scrambling and he tries to throw the ball up. This is also on one of the last drives. And I believe this was the last one too as well, where Allen Robinson, they tried to get him on the pass interference. And the problem was that Tariq Cohen was wide open on the left-hand side. Now, for this throw, Mitch would literally have to, as he's running towards the right, okay, look left, because Tariq Cohen's way left, okay, all the way to the left-hand side of the field. But no one's covering him. He just got loose. Mitch would have to look left and then, in whatever split second, contort his body and completely throw across, okay, all the way to Tariq Cohen with obviously defenders in his face. That was a tough throw for sure. Am I saying it was impossible? No, I think you could have done it, but it was definitely a very, very tough throw. So point of the whole segment here is, folks, missed opportunities. I just gave you literally 4 or 5 different plays in which the Bears had opportunities to make and convert and score, and they couldn't do it. I want to quickly talk about the defense now. I'll get back to the offense real quickly. Don't worry about that. But defensively, folks, we got Akeem Hicks back today, but it didn't make much of a difference, folks, because here's the thing. The running game for the Packers was working. Aaron Jones had 2 touchdowns today. And I'm telling you right now, folks, I've been on this train for about, maybe 6 to 8 weeks now, that the Bears defense is wildly overrated. We're more name than we are product at this point. And I'm saying that as a Bears fan because it's true. Our secondary is wildly overrated. Buster Skrine, I got absolutely pulverized on that play where Devontae Adams scores the touchdown. He couldn't tackle him. And Aaron Jones literally rushes into the end zone. We can't tackle him. So many missed tackles in this game. Our defense is on the secondary is very burnable. I mean, where are the Bears elite at defensively? We could not generate a pass rush to save our life. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there was a couple sacks, maybe 1 or 2 that I can remember. That were impactful, but for the most part, our defense was pretty putrid until, they kind of stepped it up in the second half. But folks, this Packers team, if you take a look at a good defense that I consider like elite, I shouldn't even say good, I'm talking about elite, the Packers when they played the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers literally could not do anything because that offensive line for the Packers was getting pulverized by that 49ers defensive line. Bears defensive line was nowhere close to that, folks. And that's why I'm saying I believe it's time to stop considering this defense elite. Are they still a good defense? Yes, but elite. They haven't played elite for weeks now. They haven't played elite for weeks now, folks. We've had a few moments here and there, that were nice, but elite, no way, no how has this defense been elite. And to just harp on the more missed opportunities, could have had 2 interceptions in this game. Nick Kwiatkowski had a dropped interception for sure, and then I believe it was Kyle Fuller who could have had an interception on an Aaron Rodgers pass to Devontae Adams. I mean, this Bears defense is far from elite at this point, folks. They are closer to being mediocre than they are to elite to me, and they've been that way for a few weeks now, honestly, folks. Now, I know anybody who wants to talk about is the Bears' playoff chances or lack thereof anymore, and here's the thing. I told you guys, man, I don't have expectations for the playoffs now. The Bears are technically not eliminated yet, depending on what happens with the Vikings and the Rams. They're playing at the time that I'm making this video. So if they get eliminated, they get eliminated. But here's the thing. I was not expecting the Bears to make the playoffs with the way they had played midseason. And so for me, more importantly, it was just the takeaways. What can we do the rest of this season to take away for next season? And here's the thing. Obviously, let's start again with Mitchell Trubisky. Folks, there were so many good throws by Mitch in this game. I mean, he was throwing dimes, okay? I tweeted this. Mitchell Trubisky does not like nickels or pennies. He only likes dimes because that's all he was throwing in this game. And there were some lasers, okay? And I loved seeing that because Mitch has been playing so much better as of late. Just confidence in his throws. So I loved that. But again, 53 times he dropped back and threw the ball. I don't like that. I don't want Mitch throwing the ball 53 times. Now, can he? Yes, but the formula should be a little bit more balanced. But then again, I can't blame Matt Nagy completely because the run game wasn't working, folks. 14 carries for 39 rushing yards for David Montgomery. He couldn't get anything going on the ground against the Packers team, which is, fairly vulnerable on the ground. So you don't like that. Of course, Allen Robinson, stud. What can you say? Mr. Consistent, the best player on the Bears all season long. 7 catches for 125 yards. Anthony Miller, folks, another great game. Probably his best game of the year. 9 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown, folks. I've been high on this kid since he came out of Memphis. I told you guys when the Bears drafted him, this kid is going to be good. He has solidified himself as our number 2 receiver moving forward behind Allen Robinson. So I love that. So I feel like our core is coming together now. Mitch, to me, has absolutely played well enough to at least buy himself another year. You guys still might not be sold on him as a franchise quarterback, but does he at least get another year? To me, I think so. Does that mean we can't bring in competition for him? No, that's not true. But at the same time, just look at the way Mitch was playing. If you came away from that game with Mitch Trubisky was the reason the Bears lost, and I'm sorry, I can't help you. There were times when he was the only bright spot for this Bears team, folks. So I like that. I like the fact that we've got our 2 receivers now. We definitely need tight end help, folks. I mean, we already know Trey Burton's been a colossal bust. So has Adam Shaheen. And then the other tight ends that we are signing off practice squads, I mean, they're not long-term options. Our offensive line, we need to improve that as well. It's been pretty horrid, both in pass and run blocking. So that absolutely needs to be addressed. So there's absolutely a number of things the Bears can address in the offseason. But takeaways are that the progression for Mitchell Trubisky that you wanted is coming there, folks. I wish he would run a little bit more. The Bears did have design runs in this game, but I wanted to see a little bit more. Mitch is still a little reluctant to run the ball, so I need to see more from him. But absolutely, Allen Robinson, you got to keep him around. Anthony Miller, love seeing that from him. So overall, folks, yes, the Bears lost, but I'm not completely discouraged because, again, my expectations had been lowered, okay? And I am just looking for positives for next season. So let me know what you guys think, what you guys took away from that game, folks. Honestly, man, Aaron Rodgers, real quickly on the Packers, had 16 for 33 for 203 yards and a touchdown. They didn't look that impressive to me, folks. I'm sorry. I know the Packers are 11-3, but they might be, one of the most unimpressive 11-3 teams. I don't see any dominance or explosiveness. You got one receiver on the outside of Devontae Adams, and then Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams as your running backs. Now, again, you have Aaron Rodgers, and anytime you have Aaron Rodgers, you have a shot. But obviously, he was not great in this one. He was okay. He wasn't great. But let's see what happens. But overall, what were your thoughts about the Bears in this one, folks? Were you encouraged, discouraged? Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.